Well, hi.
Do the intro in three, two, one.
Hi, welcome back to the vlog. My name is Jene Stroud. I am having so much fun with this. Thanks for everybody out there that's tagging along and giving comments, sharing the videos, and subscribing. It's really, it's fabulous. So, I'm going to introduce you this week to a good friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, meet my friend, the Paintmobile. In 2017, I decided to make a huge leap of faith and leave behind a life that I was very comfortable in and that I was very blessed with. But I have this dream to get out and to meet people and to paint and to see the country and to see the world. So I bought this little 21-foot mini Winnebago and my adventure began. Which brings us to this point right here, where I am out literally traveling around and painting and meeting people. I had so many people comment that they were living vicariously through me that I should do a vlog that I finally gave in. Well, secretly I wanted to, and here we are. So the Paintmobile is a really interesting way to live. It runs off of solar power. I actually have a solar panel on top of the RV that powers 240 amp hours of batteries and converts electricity through a inverter and allows me to do things like edit video on my computer and to paint when the sun's down. So I'll give you a little tour, share some of the things that are important with me. And we're also going to be painting a horse in this episode. I hope you'll enjoy that. It was a lot of fun, the white mare. So without further ado, I hope you'll enjoy this episode. Please do keep in touch. Leave me any comments down below. I'll have links to all the fun things, supply lists, all the things that I use. And I would just love to hear from you. Your feedback is very, very important. And I'll make adjustments to keep this fun because this is for you. All right, welcome back to the studio. Today we're going to paint a white mare. So I'm starting out by putting a lot of water all over the page. It's a big mistake to paint your foreground and background objects separately. So if you do that, what happens is it'll look like you painted a horse painting and cut it out and then glued it on top of a background painting. So by painting the wash all together and letting the colors run, it gives unity. And you'll notice some of those colors that seep in along the edge of the horse's face and along its mane, it just looks like reflected color onto the white horse. It's a very pleasing effect. So I'm just going with lots of pigment and lots of water and just letting things all blend and run in together, and it'll give a beautiful, beautiful blended effect. Strengthening some of the worms along the top and just adding a little more pigment. Wanted to make it fun. We're going to go in with a much darker background after this. So this first wash is really just about glow. And you notice there that I took some water, dipped my fingers in the water and just kind of flicked it to give kind of like a textury, salty effect. And thereby spinning the board around, lets the paint and the water move in different directions. Now I've let that completely dry. And now it's time for the second wash. And this is where we'll go in with the darks and give that vignetted look by putting shadows in the corners and letting it move down toward the warmer area. But by using water to push it back away, it gives kind of a glow effect around the horse itself. But again, notice how the colors seeping into the horse itself give it unity, just give it continuity. I love that the horse has blues and greens and reds, all as reflected colors, because in nature there are no whites. If you do save some white pieces of paper, use it to make a really strong statement, like along the nostrils or the tips of the ears. Save that white of the paper for your kind of little chili pepper effects, for what I call a jewelry, and it's much more effective. So I'm going in now with burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. That's my go-to dark, and reinforcing those edges. And you know, if you want to have a warmer dark, you can always add a little bit of crimson, and for a cooler dark you can always add a little cobalt. Now I'm going to go in and start carving in some of the objects, like the insides of the ears, putting nice thick paint in there, and then using water and working from the edges into it to give that real blendy effect. It's important that you use nice, thick, juicy, wet paints. It's very difficult to paint using pans and scrubbing dry cakes of paint to try to get color off of them. Not impossible, and I've seen people get lovely results doing it, but I prefer a nice big soft toothpaste consistency amount of paint to dip my brush into. You notice I'm using my little brass palette too, from the Little Brass Box Company. I love this palette. It's a handmade brass palette, and the paint sits in it, doesn't pool or run off like in plastic ones. It's a lovely piece of equipment to have. And here, going in again with the darks, I wanted to lose the bottom of the mouth of the horse into the background, again to keep out from having that cut out look. So by going in with super dark in the nostrils and then letting that bleed into the background, it just gives again that sense of unity. And this is a really fun part here. I'm going to put thick paint on for the halter or the bridle. I'm not sure what it is. And there, I don't know if you noticed, but I took a credit card and I just scraped one time right across the top edge, and it really gave a 3D effect to that leather strap. You can only do that with dark paint and real thick pigment. You don't want to try scraping into really watery or lightly colored areas. You'll make a dark line instead of making a white line on a dark background, which might be good if you're trying to scrape in some grass or something for special effects. But yeah, that's very effective there. And here, the musculature and the body and some of the shadows on the side, just reinforcing those and starting to actually sculpt using the shadows and using darker colors. You can push in certain areas and bring other areas forward. So if you leave the orbit around the eye nice and light and you paint it dark around it, it makes it look rounder. And this is always the fun part. Mix a good amount of color so you don't have to remix and start over, so it all is the same, and go in and lay in your shadows. Again, ultramarine blue and burnt sienna, and there's a little bit of dry brushing. You could overpaint the hair very easily in this, so I'm just very lightly suggesting the wispy locks, and now softening and changing a few edges, making it blend a little bit. There's some more shadows, and again, just sculpting, pushing certain areas in, pulling certain areas out. It's all wonderful. This is one of my favorite parts of the painting. It's just the tweaking, the massaging of it all. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. So what are your hopes and dreams? Have you ever taken a leap of faith? I think one of the great secrets of life is to do the thing that you love to do. It's an amazing force. I'd love to hear your comments. Maybe we can inspire others who in turn can inspire us back, and that'd be great. All right, leave them down below.